What's up guys, it's Gooba Gooba, here to give you a brief recap of the 34-page document dropped by the Genshin creator Atsu that looks to expose multiple creators, but mainly Tectone and Braxophone. Now, there is one key point that kind of encapsulates this entire issue, which is proof. Atsu doesn't really provide any proof that we can see in this document, which turns the whole scenario into a he said, she said. What is important to take away is that because we can't definitively say, yes, Atsu is right, or no, Atsu is wrong, what we have to evaluate is how he talks about what he wants to talk about, which is why the first page of the doc is the most, and to a degree, the only important page, where he talks about his own mental state at the time of writing this. Atsu let us know that he is going to be taking an indefinite break from content creation, that he has tried to kill himself twice, and that his wife had an affair that is resulting in divorce. These are pretty horrible things to have happen, which might mean that making this was a bit of a mistake. I don't think this is a place to talk about those things. I think it's much better said to a therapist, which I will touch on at the end. So Atsu's claim against Tectone mostly boils down to manipulation. He thinks that Tectone manipulates most of the other content creators to create false narratives against him, and that this mostly stems from Tectone's hate boner for Genshin Impact and its community, for which Atsu is a big figure, and that Tectone wants to tear down Genshin creators. He also attributes a lot of the reasoning for why other creators won't speak on his behalf to fear that Tectone will rip them apart. We definitely get the feeling that he mainly blames Tectone for why he will no longer be making content. Throughout this doc, he brings up a lot of individual scenarios, but because there's no evidence presented, I'm not really going to touch on those details because first, I want to keep this short, and then also a lot of people who are actually more directly involved in this are going to make videos that go over every detail. I just want to focus on the general sentiment for a major event that just happened. Braxophone is the other big player, and Atsu essentially says that Brax saw Atsu as the golden goose of success and tried to approach him, but that Atsu was a little put off, so he turned Brax down. Because they both work in the same sphere, a lot of what Atsu was up to came back to Braxophone, and a lot of what Braxophone was up to came back to Atsu. Atsu very much paints Brax almost as a little bit of a creep and obsessive in that he repeatedly comes back trying to get close to or work with him, but Atsu just keeps turning him down. The obsession apparently expands beyond more than just business, stuff like trying to get a +1 at Atsu's parties and the such. Then, Brax drops his own doc where he lays out all of the problems he's had as a CC and blames them mainly on Atsu. According to Atsu, this doc is full of half-truths and false narratives that Brax spends time trying to backpedal a bit, and now that he's caught in a spot where he's told lies, he can't admit them because it'd make him look bad. Atsu indicates that he's helping him by not exposing Brax, even though Brax has essentially been a thorn in his side. One of the damning things for Atsu way back when this all started was that he indicated that he had some level of pull in Hoyoverse regarding who was a favorite creator and who would get contracts, which he now says is ridiculous to think he has that level of influence. Yes, he is correct, there's no way he would solely be able to decide things like that for $1 billion company, but he is very much minimizing what level of influence he does have, maybe in part because it's not provable. I think it's reasonable to say that Hoyo would listen a good bit to a creator that they trust and that is massive in their community, but that doesn't mean he dictates 100% of what they do. Atsu's reasoning for giving indication that he had influence was that he was tired when he said it, which isn't a particularly strong case. Tuano and Dish were two creators I was really surprised to see mentioned in the doc. Atsu says essentially that they are both too PR focused and threw him under the bus so that they didn't look bad. Some of the miscommunicated problems between Atsu and Brax are because Tuano was the one who really didn't like him. But overall, these guys just weren't genuine and betrayed Atsu. Throughout the doc, Atsu will give some anecdotes of times where he shared his distrust of Brax to some of the biggest creators in the space. This seems a little naive not to see how this might impact someone trying to make a living in that same space. Yes, Brax may have been going to other people besides Atsu himself to see what was going on, but given that by this point we have over 3 instances of Atsu talking about not liking Brax, I don't really fault how that was conducted. Towards the end, he reminisces about Genshin Impact and the positives that resulted from being a part of the community until he gets to mentioning people by name. Creators that have been on the outside of this beef, he mostly apologizes for keeping them at arm's length. For those that were more involved, he gives some compliment sandwiches, where he talks about respecting their content and then slips into his grievances with them. To end everything off, he drops the most unexpected bomb, which was announcing that Ziox was a bit of a fake friend for whom he's had to clean up messes, and that Ziox also has issues with Brax that an Atsu doesn't want to deal with them anymore. It felt like a cliffhanger at the end of a very uncomfortable episode. Now, this was sad and an interesting read. At Atsu's best case scenario, he is right about everything, and everyone is against him and just using him for his clout, money, and connections, and just about every CC in the Hoyoverse space is terrible. At Atsu's worst case scenario, this doc was full of excuses to deflect any problems that people have had with him. while making himself look like a victim, in which case this would look a little bit more like a toxic relationship where one person is threatening to leave and keeps waiting for the other one to beg him to stay and absolve them of any guilt, while making them feel bad for doubting him. Throughout all of this, we see Atsu take very little accountability and offer very little evidence. In any beef, someone is rarely as bad as the worst they are made out to be and rarely as good as they are praised. The fact that there is no accountability on his end lowers his credibility for me. When talking about how Tectone manipulates everyone against him, it hurts his argument that Dish and Tuwano are too PR focused because siding with Tectone has rarely been a good PR move. In addition, the friend that they are very publicly linked to coming under fire wouldn't be a great move for PR, so it would make more sense for them to try and defend Atsu, at least to me. The depiction of Braxophone doesn't match up with anything I've ever seen as a casual viewer, nor anything that I've heard as a part of the gacha community. I think if Atsu was having problems with one or two people, it would be easier to take this at face value, but the fact that almost every big creator is not agreeing with what he's put out makes it feel a little bit less genuine. Now, the only important takeaway from this is that Atsu's mental health is very much in need of help. I hope he gets it. Pausing a career, infidelity, suicide are extremely big red flags for positive mental health. I really hope he goes and benefits from therapy. Everyone in the world's mental health can be improved. Therapy is not just for people who've hit rock bottom. Day-to-day anxiety, problems at home, lurking doubts, all of these are common struggles that can use help. So I encourage everyone to at least try and be aware of your mental health and to continuously try to improve it. Actually, one more important thing to take away from this is that there might be a sexual predator in the Hoyo voice acting community. I really hope that's not true, and if it is true, it gets uncovered quickly and that no one is covering for them. A quote in this doc is, "Can we please stop acting like every single creator in the world has the purest intentions and there aren't people who very obviously want to use others for their personal gain?" I agree. Content creators are human and make mistakes. Don't center your entire personality behind them because more often than not, you're going to be disappointed in the end. So I would say it's important to not attack Atsu for this. You can criticize what he's written about other content creators, but attacking him personally should be off the table, especially when we see what kind of mental struggles he's dealing with. Saying, hey, you don't have evidence to call Braxophone a creep, to call Tectone a manipulator, to call whoever this, right? That's critiquing what he said. Attacking him is a totally different issue, and I do not support it whatsoever. I hope that Atsu does better. I hope that the gacha community keeps improving. I hope that the CCs keep their head above water. I hope you all watch my fucking videos. Peace, I'll see you later.